Yes, it's finally that time again, and I figured it was time to make this video because I think I owe you guys an explanation, and I don't know how long this video is going to be. I've literally just set it off to record, and I'm just going to talk and see how it goes. Now, as you guys might have gauged, I'm a fairly private person. As cool as it would be to reveal who I am and what I do and all this kind of stuff, I just don't think it's necessary for my content, and I think you guys enjoy it as is. And you know, if I ever became a super hardcore famous YouTuber on the level of jingles, then maybe I would. But at the moment, it's pretty small time, and it's just a hobby. I haven't monetized anything. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just having fun, learning how to edit properly, and bringing you guys on into the fold while I do it. I think I've done pretty well with subscribers, and the ultimate goal was to get over 1,000 and go from there. However, some things have started to get in the way. There are a couple of spanners in the works, and unfortunately, as I will reveal later in this video, things aren't going to go as certainly I'd want them to go. Reference how much time I have. So the first thing as to where I've been, I have had a lot of work commitments. So over the past couple of months, I went on leave, I went on holiday from work finally for a good, I think I had 2 weeks off, and my initial plan was to make an absolute crap ton of videos. What happened is I got sidelined by I think it was the King of the Sea. It was certainly a set of competitive videos, and I ended up churning out as many videos as I could. And it takes a lot out of you. And then I got to go on holiday. I went out with the family, and from there, I pretty much decided that I needed some time. And what I should have done is made a video like this, explaining that I was going away and so on and so forth, but I didn't. So unfortunately, I just sort of left you guys in the dark and disappeared off the face of the earth. In the background, by the way, is Terendian89 playing his gearing, so there's something in the background to watch while I'm boring the crap out of you. It's quite a good game. I should have uploaded it before, really, but I haven't had time, and I suddenly disappeared. Anyway, so I've been doing lots of. I went on leave, needed a break, and then work got hectic. I've been doing lots of overtime and extra hours. I've even been working some weekends, sort of almost against my will, but it's what happens in my job. It's the nature of it, and if I want to actually get paid at the end of the month, then I have to do it. So, because I'm contractually obliged, which sucks. However, that's the way of the world. On top of that, I'm actually doing a lot of educational courses and extra stuff for work, in order to try and go on an exciting course for a promotion. The problem with that is they're going to move me locations to train me, as well as me having to do all the extra stuff anyway. And the course is going to basically take me somewhere where I practically don't have internet. So for almost a year, I'm going to be gone, which is not what I want. And I know you guys are probably going to be quite sad. The channel will still exist, and you never know, I might crop up here and there over the time I'm gone, but it's not looking great. So the course, if all goes well, because there's a couple of things that I have to fulfill before I'm allowed to go on the course, but before that, that starts in January. The deciding factor will be in the next few weeks, so I'll find out, and I will of course let you know before I go. But if I do get this course, as I say, I'm definitely going to be gone for even potentially over a year, trying to further my career, so to speak. And so, it really is important. It's not like a snap decision I'm making and sort of leaving you all out in the cold. It needs to be done. So yeah, that's happening. On top of this, all this, while I've been sort of doing this in the background, I broke my hand. I actually broke my metacarpal, my 5th metacarpal in my hand, just behind my little finger. And I'll show a picture of what it looks like. So I was in a cast for a week. They actually told me I was going to be in it for a lot longer, but because I'm some kind of like micro Wolverine, it healed so quickly and so well that they left the cast off. So I can now play games again and start using a mouse again. Because although the cast looks like I've got my thumb and forefinger, you can't use a mouse because the 3 right digits. That part of the cast knocks the mouse out of the way. So you could reverse the controls and use it left-handed, which I was kinda, but I wasn't comfortable playing anything or doing because I couldn't use a mouse and a keyboard at the same time. So it was basically pointless trying to play Warships and trying to do almost anything else. I did actually go into work with the injury. And they said, well, can you do anything? And I was just like, well, I'll just left-hand it and see how it goes. So, I managed to get away with it. I do have an X-ray. It isn't my X-ray. I just want to make that clear. It is an X-ray covering almost exactly the same injury that I had. So what had happened is I've busted my hand, being stupid, and I've knocked the end of the 5th metacarpal forward. So I'll circle the bit I mean, and I'll sort of show you what I mean. They should be relatively straight. Obviously the end is bulbous. However, what I've done is I've crushed the end of the bone, and it's now pointing down into my hand. Now the cast has fixed that and it's put it back up. So don't worry, Hatters is going to be okay. But yeah, what I'd done is I snapped off the end, so to speak, and pushed it down into almost the palm of my hand, which is not great. It's not a good injury to get. I was kind of carefree about it because I've actually broken quite a lot of bones in my time. Hatters is quite an interesting character. I've managed to break ribs, fingers, when I was really little, my elbow, toes, all sorts. And it's not because I'm not like Michael Jackson out of Unbreakable. Not Michael Jackson? Holy God. I'm so bad. Samuel L. Jackson. I'm not like him out of Unbreakable. I'm not like, completely sort of weak-boned or anything like that. I just fall like a moron. Every time I land like an idiot in a pile, like a sack of shit, and I just break something. So, I've not done great, but, I've got some life experience behind me, I guess. So, I've picked up some pretty kooky injuries in my time. But, this is the latest in a long string of interesting wounds. And in this case, it stopped me from being able to use a mouse. So that has also added to the late problem of me not being able to make videos, because I probably would have made some if I'd injured anything else, but because it was the hand, I couldn't really use a mouse properly. On top of that, I've been playing a bit of Elite Dangerous. So I've not gone off Warships, not at all, but I have played it a lot less. And, I was playing a couple of other games in the background. I played some Elite Dangerous. I'm just trying to think what else I was playing. Oh, what game is it? Oh God, The Long Dark. Really good game, really interesting, and sort of, so I thought I'd play something different for a little bit. And when you're playing completely different games, why do you want to make videos on Warships? It's kind of weird and contradictory to be playing something completely different and then making videos on Warships. So I thought, I'd take myself out of the picture, take a bit of a break. I don't know if there's any appetite from you guys for me to do a bit of a Q&A. I don't mind you asking questions, and I will try and answer them. A couple of people did actually ask when I made the video on Wednesday where the hell I'd been. So, I thought I owed you an explanation anyway. I was going to do this anyway, but I thought, well, I better actually answer your questions. You guys are my fan base after all, and I do appreciate everything you guys do, commenting on videos and being part of my little micro community we have in the corner of Warships. So if you guys want me to do a Q&A, spam the comments of this video saying you want that, and ask some questions, and I don't mind starting I don't, want to copy Mingles with Jingles TM, but I'm happy to make my own little mini-series answering questions, because there's nothing worse than watching someone and getting into them but knowing literally nothing about them. I will answer some questions. There's some questions, of course, I won't. You can't have my bank account details, I'm afraid. You can't. I'm not going to tell you the intricacies of a lot of my life. Like, some of my life is private, and I think that's the way it should stay. As I say, if I was like a big hero YouTuber, like 100,000 subscribers, etc., etc., then maybe I would be more willing to invite you into the sort of intricacies, because then I would turn this into a job, and part of the job would be making you guys like me, right? So, but yeah, at the moment that's not a thing. So I'm trying to keep relatively private and professional in the background. I did want to become a wargaming community contributor, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, and now that I'm pretty much almost as a time limit on how long I can make videos for a long time, that's never going to happen. It would have been nice if they had, because I don't know, I'd feel more like I wanted to weigh in on what's going on in the game. At the moment, I think there's a few things that are going on in the game that I feel quite passionately about. However, I'm not willing to weigh in on what's happening, because quite frankly, all of the YouTubers have said it already. A lot of the things I believe, some of them agree with. A lot of the things they've said I completely disagree with. However, I am not willing to have a massive epic fight over what's going on in Warships constantly, because quite frankly it's not anything to do with me. I personally think that Wargaming are doing a pretty good job of doing what they're doing in the game. Granted, some of it's a bit slow, but you can't hold it against them. Games take months to develop and change. You can't just switch on a dime and change everything just because your subscriber base or your game base says so. Because if you gave everyone in the game exactly what they wanted, then the game would cease to be your own for a start, and then the game would also probably become awful, because everyone complains that every other class is, DD players hate cruiser players, or hate radar, or hate the changes in smoke. Battleship players hate everyone. Carrier players, unfortunately, have been sort of done over, and they need the CV rework. However, that's not come in yet, so they're a bit disappointed, and I get that. Cruiser players hate battleships, so everything hates everyone else, and if you have a particular class that you play over everything else, of course you're going to want the opposite class nerfed almost, but that's not how the game works. I mean, I'm quite lucky in that I have a very balanced view. I sympathise with carrier players, even though I'm personally not one. I've never actually really played carriers. I've played a couple of games, but I'm awful. So I decided to knock that on the head quite quickly. But, I sympathise with carrier players, and I like to try and see everything from everyone's different perspective. There's no point in saying, oh, well, I want this, if you're not willing to consider everyone else's sort of problems. I, however, am lucky I have quite a balanced view, because I do play every other type of ship, and I play them moderately well with varying types of success per ship, but I like to think that when I present a view it's relatively balanced, as opposed to raging for one side or the other. However, like I say, I think there's a lot of, and this is nothing against other YouTubers, by the way, I'm not having a go at them or anything like that. There's a lot at the moment of like bandwagoning. So a thing will come up in the community. The big one at the moment being the clan thing. I'm in a clan. The clan thing. Yeah, that where they're going to do effectively sort of clan wars, like from World of Tanks. I think it's called clan battles though. And a lot of people disagree with what they've done, and I'm not going to state my opinion on the facts, but everyone's jumping on the bandwagon to get a video out, and it's just like, well, it's all been said, and I know you want to weigh in what you think and give your opinion, that's fine, but I'm not going to start doing that, because I don't know, I just don't, that isn't what I'm about. I want people to have fun watching my videos, and I want to get what I think out there once in a while, but unless I feel incredibly strongly about something, I just don't think it's necessary to start weighing in on everything that's wrong with the game. And quite frankly, I think it's fine. It's got its flaws, of course it has. Every game has its flaws. Everything has its flaws. Nothing is perfect. But I think with what they've got available and with what's going on in the world, I think they are doing fine. I think that, they'll rebalance things as they come up because they work off statistics. But for what they've got going on at the moment, Wargaming are doing an okay job, and as much as everyone wants to complain about it and whinge and whine, and they're doing what they can with what they've got for reasons that they've stipulated, and if people disagree with that, then people disagree with that, that's fine. But I think that ranting and raving about it for weeks on end is not going to achieve anything. So yeah, that's my take on that side of life. I'm more here because I want to show people how to play a bit. I want to, show some interesting replays, have some fun with it, and hopefully entertain you guys. That is pretty much my deal at the moment. Like I said, it's a hobby. I could literally just drop this right now, but I've built up a little, as I say, mini community, and I don't want to just leave that. So yeah, that's Hatters at the moment in a nutshell. I've got a few more months where hopefully I'll be able to get the odd video out, but forgive me if there's none for a little, if there's like big spaces. It's not because I'm ignoring you, it is actually because life, work and everything gets in the way, and unfortunately YouTube, while I would love it to be a job, is not. It's just a hobby right now. So anyway, so that was my, where's Hatters been? I say rant, monologue. I hope you guys, are happy with that. I hope that no one's too disappointed. As I say, feel free to question me and quiz me. Feel free to ask me anything you like. And if it's inappropriate, then I won't answer. Or I'll say that I appreciate the question, but I'm not going to answer. But I'll try and keep making videos and entertaining you guys. Just always let me know what you think on videos. Tell me how I can improve. Don't obviously just rant at me and tell me I'm awful, because that's not very constructive. But by all means, have your say, and I'll try and get back to you. As you see, I'm quite active. I try and actually chat back. So yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully I will talk to you guys again soon.